The elevator doors opened on the 14th floor, and Sofia stepped out, carrying 2 coffees, a messenger bag, and the quiet confidence of someone who had learned not to explain herself before being asked. She was 28 years old, a recently hired junior associate at Caldwell and Pierce, one of the city's most prestigious architecture firms. It was her second week. She still didn't have a nameplate. The senior partner, Richard, was standing at the reception desk when she walked past. He was 61, silver-haired, the kind of man whose opinion filled every room he entered before he did. He looked at Sofia, her casual blazer, her dark jeans, her youth, and made a calculation in about 3 seconds. "Miss, can you pull the Hargrove file from storage and have it on my desk by 9? Sofia paused, set down one of the coffees, looked at him pleasantly. "I'm sorry, I think there may be some confusion. I'm Sofia Reyes. I joined the design team 2 weeks ago. I'd introduce you to your actual assistant, but I haven't met her yet either." The receptionist behind the desk pressed her lips together. Richard blinked. Yes, of course. My apologies." He walked away without another word. Sofia let it go. She had been letting things like that go since her first architecture internship at 19, when a foreman handed her a broom and asked her to sweep the site. She had swept it. Then she had gone back to her desk and designed the structural revision that saved the project $40,000. She had learned that the work was always the most eloquent reply. 3 months later, Richard stood at the front of the firm's all-hands meeting, holding a printed render. "The Hargrove mixed-use proposal. This concept came from our junior team, and I want to acknowledge the designer publicly, Sofia Reyes." He looked directly at her across the room when he said it, not with the awkward guilt of someone correcting a mistake, with the straightforward respect of someone who had updated their understanding of the world. After the meeting, he walked over to her desk. "That render is the best concept work we've produced this year," he said simply. "I owe you better than I gave you on your first day." Sofia looked at him for a moment. Then she nodded once. "Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that." She turned back to her screen and kept working. The work was always the most eloquent reply. It still is. If you have ever walked into a room and been immediately underestimated, handed the broom when you came to build, you know the particular exhaustion of having to prove yourself before you were even allowed to introduce yourself. It is draining, and it is unfair. What Sofia models is not passivity, it is precision. She corrects the record calmly, without humiliation, without escalation. She names herself clearly and moves forward. That is a skill worth practicing. If this is your experience, you do not owe anyone an explosion to prove your worth, and you do not owe anyone silence to keep the peace. A calm, clear correction, "I think there may be some confusion," is enough. Then let the work speak. It almost always does.